My name is Lazy Lift, and I'm from Polokwane, South Africa. And this is me. To be more specific, I grew up in a township called Seshego, just outside of Polokwane. I grew up in a normal family, mother, father. I was one of 3 children. I was the last born, so I was like super naughty. I went to a private school just outside of Polokwane as well. Basically, me going to a private school in a township where most of the kids were going to local schools made me sort of a target, in a sense, for things like bullying, making fun of, because our uniform was quite different from your typical white shirts and gray pants and toughies. Yeah, so that's basically the crux of my childhood, and how it basically bled into everything that culminated in me actually becoming an artist. But taking a few steps back, way back then. So basically, I used to go to school, and then when I came back, I used to run into the house because I was afraid of being made fun of and being bullied, obviously due to the fact of going to a private school. That created something in my mind, in a sense that I reacted differently. I didn't want to play with other kids that were from the same area because I was afraid of being bullied. I was afraid of being made fun of. And in turn, I became a homebody and adopted like things that I could do around the house, like annoy my parents, for one. Fast forward to that, a similar thing happened in high school, where I went to a private school as well, but then I was a bit more aware of my surroundings. So I started associating with very dangerous characters so that I could feel protected every time I come back home from school. So then in turn, what that created was a lot of external influences. So basically, these guys used to smoke, they used to drink. It was all about partying and whatnot. So being from a strict family as well, my mother used to say I shouldn't associate with such characters because I was going to end up doing the same things as well. But luckily, I didn't do the same things. So how I got into music, essentially, I started writing poetry, right? So we had English class at school. So when they started introducing poetry, I took to it. I took a very keen liking to it. So basically poems like roses are red, violets are blue, what, I love you. So pretty much how simple it was. Having been into poetry and being introduced to hip hop, I started wanting to make my own songs, right? Started as simple as downloading beats off the radio and just taping it on my computer. It was very amateurish. It was just plain amateurish trash. So fast forward to now, I released a song which I recorded completely on my phone, titled Sunscreen. At that point, I didn't have money for equipment. I didn't have a concept in mind of how I was gonna approach this music thing entirely, because I was on my own, obviously. So I recorded it entirely on my phone and released the song. And the song got positive reviews up until a point where some professional guy in the industry said no, the recording quality was not up to standard, so he doesn't understand why I actually released the song. So that I was taken a bit aback by that, and then started thinking to myself, how do I improve the quality of my music, right? So I bought a USB condenser and started recording from there. One struggle that I faced was diving into a musical depression where I didn't want to write. I didn't want to make music. I didn't want to record. All I wanted to do was just exist. But luckily, I existed in the realm of writing poetry, so I kept on writing poetry, even though it was not hip-hop centric, but it was poetry nonetheless, which is an essential bit of hip hop. On the more positive side of music, I released a single titled Heartbreak Hotel, and for some reason it just blew up, like more than I'd expected, more than I anticipated. I don't know whether it was the title of the song or just, I don't know what it was, but then yeah, it was crazy. The response was crazy. I got such a positive response that my song was playlisted on Slick on Live, and it was played live by Slicker himself, so which was crazy. And then fast forward to that helped me sign a distribution deal with Slick on Live. In terms of keeping motivated in this industry, in this music industry, is you just have to keep doing it, because like, I mean, there are a lot of resources on the internet. Like if you're looking for beats, you can find beats. If you're looking for inspiration, there's a lot of inspiration around. And I mean, the industry is quite open at the moment, whereas if your sound is unique enough, you will actually make it. So yeah, moral of the story is just keep doing it. Whether you deem it as a serious hobby or something you take utterly completely serious, then yeah, you can definitely make it. And I mean, you don't even need to sign a major label deal.